Hey everybody, today I'm going to be fixing my Frigidaire side-by-side refrigerator. I had problems, it wasn't cooling, then I replaced the air damper, and then the problem had persisted to where it was started to cool again, but it started to freeze everything. And so I quickly realized the problem was the thermistor. And so I'm going to show you today how to replace the thermistor in your Frigidaire refrigerator, but it should work for a bunch of different models as well, not just Frigidaire. Pretty much works the same way. First thing you need to do is unplug the power, which I've already done, so you can see that there's no LEDs lit up on the panel. And then you need to go ahead and get yourself a 1/4 inch nut driver, and that looks like this. You can get this, I bought this at Walmart just for this job. This top piece is removable, so most of them use 1/4 inch, so that's what mine uses. And then you need to go ahead and start disassembling, and there's several different bolts that you need to take out. There's one here, there's one here, and then there's 3 on the top side, here, here, and here. I've already taken out a few of them just because that's why it already looks like it's starting to come down. But you need to go ahead and just take out the remaining ones, and I'll go ahead and take this out, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I've removed all of the screws or bolts in the assembly, and I'm going to go ahead and just gently take it down. And one thing you need to do is you'll need to disconnect. This actually came off when I was dropping it down, and there's two pieces. There's this main bunch of wires here, and I apologize, I don't know what they're actually called. And then there's another smaller one that runs from the top down to here, and you'll need to disconnect it. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. There, and you'll just need to reach in and disconnect this wire as well. Let's see if I can how to do it with one hand. Hey, I got it with one hand. All right, now you'll be able to bring the whole assembly out. Oops. We'll take the thermistor out, and then we'll take the whole assembly out. And what I recommend is, this is not too bad because there's only just a couple wires that you have to disconnect. But if it's your first time doing it and you're worried about getting everything right together, kind of like the same thing I'd always recommend, take a picture of it, and then you always know kind of how it looked when you started to disassemble it, and then you can get it right back together the way that it looked before you started messing with it. All right, we'll go ahead and take it down. I'm gonna take mine down to the floor here, and we'll work on it down here. So you have the air damper assembly here, which I already replaced, and so I know that that is not the issue because it's brand new. And so typically, if it's not the air damper, it's probably going to be the thermistor, this is the thermistor for the freezer. And then right here you have the thermistor for the refrigerator. So all you want to do is you're going to have to take some of this tape off, and you're going to see if I can do this. Take the tape off here. And you're going to want to try and save the tape because you're going to just want to tape all the wires back when you get done. Okay, stick that there. And you can just follow the wires along. See which one you have to remove. Alright, and it will connect here. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to have to squeeze this, y'all, so I'll be right back after I take this out. Alright, I got it out. this is what the entire thing looks like. There's the freezer thermistor, the refrigerator thermistor, and they're both connected to this one jack. So that is the bad one. And then I went from my local supply store and got a brand new replacement thermistor. It comes with both the refrigerator and the freezer one, just like the one we took out. So the first thing we want to do is plug it in to the jack here. Alright, got that plugged in. And we're going to move the wires back along basically the path that we just took them from. So down this way, underneath this bar. They connect down into this clip here. Now we can take the refrigerator thermistor and we can put it back in here just like that. See how that just fits right in there. Alright, and now the freezer thermistor is a little bit, I don't want to say tricky, because it's not really tricky. It's best if you take the air damper assembly off, but you might be able to get it in without, but probably not. So that will just go. This will go like alright, I have the new piece reconnected. I went ahead and run the wire, and I used some of the excess tape to tape the wires back in place. I got the thermistor attached here, and I'm going to take it and put it back into place. The air assembly back into place here. Alright, and that will bend down so that you can position it how you want. Let me take you back up to the fridge now, and I'm going to show you one quick important thing. So when you're putting that thermistor back in, there's a hole right here, and you're going to want to make sure that that thermistor goes into that hole. That's how it will sense the temperature in the freezer, because what happens is that thermistor senses the temperature in the freezer and then in the refrigerator, and then if the refrigerator needs more cold air, it senses that and it opens up that damper and allows more cold air to come in. So you want to make sure that it is positioned correctly. So I'll take the piece, and this is a challenge to do with one hand. All right. So if you can see here, I'm taking the thermistor with one hand. I'm making sure that it goes into that hole. Perfect. All right. And once it's in that hole, I'm going to rotate it down here. And we're going to make sure we're going to reattach our wires. Right here. Okay, and then we have, if you remember, we have one more wire, and it goes right connected with this one. Alright, we got that reattached. Make sure it's tucked back in here. You don't want to pinch any of the wires. Now you'll put this back up in here. You'll reattach those bolts into the holes where we took them out before, and then it should theoretically be working. I'll come back in just a second and let you know how it's working. Okay, we're all hooked back up and plugged back in. You can see we have power, and cold air is now blowing from the damper. So this should be a fixed fridge. It should stay cold for the refrigerator, and it should no longer freeze because we have new thermistors installed. Please subscribe and like the video, and thank you for watching.